They Shook Hands, Year 1, Chapter 6, Part 2. Correct. 5 points to Slytherin and 5 from Gryffindor. Goyle. How many porcupine quills needed for the potion to cure boils? 4, sir? Wrong. Crab? 6. More wrong. The right answer is 2. I do hope you at least know your numbers before coming to my class. Parkinson, how many portions of snake fangs does the potion need? 6, sir. Correct. Zabney, how do you prefer the fangs? They must be powdered, sir. Mortar and pestle. 10 points to Slytherin. How much of the nails is required? Paddle? 3, sir. A lucky guess. What temperature do we avoid this potion at? Brown? 100, sir? Idiot girl. Snape snarled. The water doesn't even boil at 100. 5 points from Gryffindor. Snape wasn't even bothering to lecture. He seemed determined to find out who had prepared for class and who had not. After covering every aspect of the potion, he finally let them begin. Very well. Open your books to pages 3 and begin. To page 3 and begin. You should have more than enough time to prepare this potion if you did not make any mistakes. Harry looked at Tracy. Let's get to work. Right. You store the snake fangs. We want them powdered. I'll weigh the nestles and get the water boiling. Harry had to experiment to find a good group on the pestle and mortar. The fangs are harder to crush than he thought. Is this good enough? Yes, I think so. Tracy had the potion bubbling happily, so Harry added 6 portions of the powdered fangs. She quickly added the dried nettles. Now we wait, Tracy said. Pressing swept around his long black coat while they worked, watching over their shoulders. Don't work here with the fangs, Thomas. Those aren't nearly crushed enough. That's not enough metals, Brown. Brown scales were weighing. Those flames aren't high enough, Golding. They'll never boil at that rate. When he paused to peer into Harry's cauldron, he said nothing. Harry was grateful that. Professor Snape made him rather nervous. Moved on to Draco and Pansy's bench. This is nearly perfect, Mr. Malfoy, Miss Parkinson. Class, observe this cauldron. It's precisely how the Hornswoggle should look. You add them into the potion now, Mr. Malfoy. A loud hissing sound suddenly filled the dungeon, and clouds of acid green smoke began pouring into Neville's Longbottom's cauldron. The whole thing melted into a twisted blob, and the potion seeped across the stone floor, burning holes in people's shoes. Within seconds, the whole class standing on their stools with Longbottom with the hot potion when the cauldron collapsed. Moaned agony as angry red boils sprang all over his arms and legs. Idiot boy, snarled Snape, clearing the spilled potion away with one wave of his wand. I suppose he added the porcupine quills before taking the cauldron off the fire. Longbottom whimpered as the boils started to pop all over his nose. He was barely recognizable. Harry felt sorry for him. Take him up to the hospital wing, Snape spat at Finnegan, who was Longbottom's partner. They rounded up on Weasley and Thomas, who had been working next to Longbottom. Weasley, Thomas. Why didn't you tell him not to add the quills? You thought such an obvious mistake would make you look if he got it wrong, did you? There'll be 5 points from Gryffindor. Thomas opened his mouth to protest, but they could see Weasley kick him. Lead lie, he muttered. When they climbed out of the dungeon 2 hours later, Harry's stomach was rumbling and his spirits were bright. Instead of being pinned off, he earned points to Slytherin. Perhaps seemed to be impressed by Harry's appearance to class. His obvious dislike was replaced by Reggie's sort of acknowledgement that Harry might not be a complete dunderhead after all. As he relaxed the way through lunch, Harry suddenly remembered the note from Hagrid. Anyone know how to get up to the Owlery? Harry asked. He can borrow Arlette, Draco volunteered. Shall I show you up myself? Who are you writing to, anyway? Hagrid invited me down for tea. There was some silence around the table. Do you intend to go? Theo asked, his voice artlessly careless. Harry heard the seriousness behind the casual tone. Hagrid was the one who rescued me from those muggles, he reminded his friends. For that alone, he deserves our goodwill. They mulled over that. Harry is right, Tracy said in his support. No matter what Hagrid may be, what he may have done, and what he may do, he is the one who gave Harry the truth about his heritage. We should be grateful for him for bringing Harry back to where he belongs. Theo scowled. I suppose you're right. Technically, Pansy sniffed. But he should never have left, I think. Blamed him over the Muggle lover for thinking Muggles could be properly ways a wizard. There was much agreement. We were a bit off track, Harry noted. Should I go to tea? There's a mixture of yes and nays. I'll push you on you all, Millicent said, waving her hand dismissively. If you want to go, Harry, I'll go with you. Nothing else I can remind you of a study session we have to go to. Company. Harry was glad for it. All right, he said. Draco, can I still borrow Arlette? I said you could borrow her, didn't I? He sighed, his voice having been one of the nays. If he seems to be drunk, he should leave, he cautioned. It's the middle of the day, Harry said shocked. So? Theo was dry. The middle side of the tavern is always dark, he said, sounding like he was quoting from somewhere. I won't stay long, Harry promised. I want to practice that machinal transfiguration some more. Should I work on your hexes some more? After dinner, Tracy was asking as Harry Mills made their way up to the Owlery. What do you think classes so far? He asked. Best needs to do something else. I think I'm going to like potions. I mean, it's tied so close to herbology. I hope I'm good at them both. What's your least favorite? Definitely history, but that's no surprise. I think astronomy is pretty boring. Best is definitely charms. You got that match to gold silver, Harry reminded her. I could use some help with it. Sure. What about you? I like potions. Hope I don't cross old McGonagall. The firm hope of many, I'm sure. So Tracy and Draco both have siblings, Harry said curiously. What about you? Any brothers and sisters? Both, actually. Oldest of 4. My annoying little brother Arson will be starting next year. You can have full permission to thrash him if he gets on your nerves. Blanche and Denna won't be first years until after they finish school. They're just babies. I've never been around babies. They're loud sometimes. They're not very interesting. Mom did all sorts of silly over them. Tell me about your parents. I met the Malfoys. I'd like to meet your parents someday. Daddy works the ministry. He's assistant head of the Beast Division. He says it's a fairly easy job. Doesn't really need to work being from old money. He just likes to get out of the house to avoid the chaos on Mom's job. She's a highly respected fashion expert. Fashion, yes, her opinions are sought by riches from all over the world. It's ironic, really. Mom's so into it, and I couldn't care less. She's only giving up and trying to get me to put on a dress. As they climbed down up the steps to the owlery, Harry stopped in his tracks. There were owls everywhere, every type, every size, every color, every age. Echidema's, Millie's barn owl, came swooping down to perch on their shoulder, nipping at her head affectionately. Arlette, recognizing Harry, swooped in for some attention as well. Hey girl, Harry said, scratching her head. Draco said I could borrow you to send a letter. Arlette drew herself up proudly. She just stuck out her leg and hooted with pleasure. Arlette was proud of being a magical post owl and took pride in carrying out her responsibilities. Harry quickly scrawled an acceptance of Hagrid's invitation and held it out to the owl. Just carry this down to Hagrid's hut and give it to him. No need to wait for a reply. She grasped the partridge firmly in her beak and winged away out from the belfry and across the castle grounds. Success, Millie grinned at them. Come on, we can waste some time before tea. Waste time meant turned out to me exploring as they gathered up Tracy, Draco, and Crabbe were roaming the corridors. At 5 to 3, Harry and Millie left the castle and laid their way across the grounds. Harry lived in a small wooden house on the edge of the Forbidden Forest. A crossbow and a pair of galoshes were outside the front door. When Harry knocked, they were heard a frantic scrabbling from inside and several booming barks. Then Hagrid's voice rang out saying, Back, Fang, back. Hagrid's big, hairy face appeared in the crack as he pulled the door open. Hang on, he said. Back, Fang. He led them in, strong enough to keep a hold on the collar of an enormous black boarhound. There was only one room inside. Hams and pheasants were hanging from the ceiling, a copper kettle was boiling on the open fire, and in the corner stood a massive bed with a patchwork quilt on it. Make yourselves at home, said Hagrid, letting go of Fang, who brought it straight at Millie and began licking her face. This is Millicent, Harry introduced her. Millie was giggling and teasing Fang, the two playing together on the floor. Hagrid poured boiling water from the kettle into a large teapot. The teapot stood next to a large plate of cookies that looked remarkably like rocks. I do hope you're keeping your head on straight in that nest of serpents, lad, Hagrid began. I've made some good friends, Harry said. I don't want to have a fight about Draco Malfoy again. Just make sure you keep yourself on straight and narrow, Hagrid huffed. How are them classes? Together, Millie and Harry told Hagrid about the first lessons. Fang was enjoying cuddling with Millie. She apparently liked the great tub of pudding. As Hagrid started ranting about Phillips that old guild about he wanted to introduce Mr. and Miss Norris to Fang, Harry noticed a clipping from the Daily Prophet on the table. The Gringotts break-in latest. Diagon Alley, London. Investigations continue into the break-in at Gringotts on 31 July, while we do the work of dark wizards or witches unknown. Gringotts goblins insisted that nothing had been taken. The vault that was searched had been in fact emptied the same day. We're not telling you that what was in there, so keep your noses out if you don't know it's good for you. If you know it's good for you. Said a Gringotts spokesperson goblin this afternoon. The date of 31 July rolled around Harry's head. Hagrid, he said, interrupting Millie, who was telling her about her younger brother Arson. The Gringotts break-in happened on my birthday. It might have happened while we were there. Harry refused to meet Harry's eyes. He grunted. It's important business, no doubt. Let's keep out of it, he muttered, offering them more cookies. Keep your nose clean. Harry read the story again. The vault had been searched and in fact emptied the next same day. Hagrid had emptied the vault 713, if you could call it emptying, taking out the grubby little package. Had that been what the thieves were looking for? The conversation died out and Millie stood up. Thank you for the tea, Mr. Hagrid. We have a study session to get to before dinner. All right, then, get on your way. Don't want to keep you from your studies. Work hard, will ya? They promised they would do so and left the hut, Millie scratching Fang one last time behind the ears. There's something going on, he said to Millie as they walk back up to the castle. Hagrid knows something about that break-in he's not talking. So yeah, that's Chapter 6 of They Shook Hands Year 1, The Head of Slytherin House. Yeah. I'll update you with Chapter 7 when I'll get a chance to read that as soon as possible. Until then, take care, everybody. It's on the Legend, 826 out.